Hello, everybody. This is Ken Renner, real estate broker in North Austin. I'm just sending you an email, a video, quick video chat of me talking with Mike Ebert from Austin Landmark Property Services. I know a lot of you have already been working with him, and some of you are soon to meet with him. But we're talking specifically right now about the Temple market, the Temple rental market, and what we've been doing up there. Having a lot of success in getting properties rented, especially this summer was just on fire. We had multiple applications, and we really seeing that we've got a whole bunch of new duplexes hitting the ground. We wanted to really focus on going into the new year and getting all these things rented up. And we understand that the number one thing that people that invest in properties, their biggest concern is an empty property. So that's why we're talking today, and wanted to share with you some of the strategies that we're going to be working on our end to make sure there's continued success as we move forward, that when the properties, this machine that we've got going, that they one after the other, that we're able to get these leased with good tenants. And so Mike, I appreciate you being on the Zoom call today. And you've got several of the duplexes in Pecan Creek that we've got hitting the ground. And I guess we have 8 or 9 of them out of the 17 that were sold. And so a lot of them all closed at once. I mean, they're all closed pretty much in the last couple months, and continuing to close through here. So we have a lot in the middle of December, a lot of vacant properties coming up. And I guess Mark, we just talked with, he got 2 leased this last week. So that's awesome. And one of them for an 18-month lease. Tell me a little bit about the single families and how those have been doing. And we've got more coming up to talk about too.
That's right, Ken. I mean, we've had a lot of success, as you know. We just looked at our current inventory, you and I together, and all the single families are spoken for and taken.
Great.
And so the average days on market for those going through this whole year has been very good. Our benchmark is about 30 days, but we're seeing less than 15 on the single family homes. And we don't have a lot of data. As you mentioned, we've only leased 2 or 3 of the duplex units so far. Those are averaging about double that. We're seeing about 20, 30 days average. And again, we don't have a lot of data to average there. So we're not seeing that just lightning speed market for the duplexes. And there's a couple of reasons for that, and we'll cover that. It's kind of like you don't want your pool to be finished, in November, right? You want your pool ready for the summer.
Yeah, and that's kind of what it is. First of all, I talk about the seasonality of Temple market is that the best time to lease property is between March and July. March being is because that's when all the doctors get their residency requirements for the hospitals, and so that's when the activity really starts up. So my encouragement to our clients is be willing to take a lease that ends in March to July. I'm not saying take a 3-month lease, but I'm saying maybe an 18-month lease or a 15-month lease. To get them on the spring summer cycle. And that's one of the first strategies. You don't want to be in Thanksgiving time trying to get properties leased. It is very much more seasonal there than it is in Austin. And so then the other thing we're looking at is pricing strategies, and it looks like we're right in the market. And I guess one of our clients just got it leased because she took us up on the half off the first month's rent. And I think that's a brilliant strategy. And rather than reducing rents beyond, right now we're doing about $14.95. The only one that's in there that's not our clients is they're asking $15.75 now for the duplex. So that makes us look really good. And so we want to share some of the other strategies and some of the challenges that we're having. So that we're not just sitting here waiting, have a stick a sign in the yard waiting for somebody to drive by. So first is the flexible with lease times and schedules, getting them on the summer cycle. Second is getting the rent to a point that is very attractive. And think about it. If you lose 1 month's rent by vacancy, you could have reduced your rent $100 for a month for the entire year. And it would have been, if you got it leased a lot quicker, then you would have been ahead after that first lease. So, but we're trying to set the market. We don't want to go too low on rent. So that's why we give bonuses. First is a half off the first month's rent. I recommend that. And that way, the biggest challenge we've seen from a lot of these people trying to move from apartments or from other areas is the upfront money that they have to come up with. They may be paying double rent and things like that on their current, their apartment, and they have to go now put rent down on this first, and for the security deposit and all that. So I think that's working in most of all of our submarkets is the discounted. Then making it really easy. So one of the things that we wanted to let everybody know is that we're going to augment the leasing activities that the marketing things. That's I'm considered a marketing expert. I throw that marketing weight behind Alps and Mike Ebert's team to be able to get a lot of attention. You won't be able to drive into Temple without running into something that we're marketing. So the first thing is going to be is direct mail to apartment complexes and to other duplex areas, other rental areas nearby. And we're probably planning somewhere between 2,000 and 3,000 direct mail pieces. And so to start off with, and we know it works, and continue, if it works, we're going to continue to do it. We also are taking those same flyers. One of the strategies we've had in the past that worked really well is we have flyer boxes at every property that have the up and coming properties, including the property that they're at, but also the ones down the street that are coming up. And that way we can get ahead of them. In other words, they can say, well, this one's already leased, but this one's coming up in February, it'll be available. Like, oh, that works out for me. And that's kind of the domino theory that we've been playing. And so having those flyers out there on site on the properties, and then also we'll be doing open houses. Open house, I'm looking for an agent right now who is willing to be paid to do open houses every weekend. And so people can come out and take a look at the property. That's how we're going to direct people to the property, is through the open houses, and get them in the property. And we've got to consider also that we're in a construction zone right now. As the homes are being finished up, there's big cement trucks pouring foundations down the street. There's framers across the street. So that's another thing is the discounting or the bonus on the rent is to entice the people to say, I got to live with this construction for 3 or 4 months while they finish the street, but that's okay. It's worth it for the discounted rent that we're getting. So any comments on that, Mike?
Well, I'd like to reiterate that these are fantastic products for tenants. The tenants really enjoy these properties. They are higher end. This isn't kind of your typical basic duplex. It's got a great finish out, the appliances, the countertops, everything's nice. And so I think once the builder finishes up and sweeps off the streets and picks up the boards and they're done, and we get some traction with tenants living there and really recommending it to their friends, coworkers. Hey, I live in this brand new community, high-end duplexes. I think that we really will see that awakening. But we're just kind of in that slow time of year. And so we need to do those things. I call them catalysts, like what you're talking about, to really give the market that pop that we need to get more takers. Yeah,
well, we're definitely gonna have boots on the ground down there with somebody to make it really easy to get in. That's what they want. They want ease quickly to be able to get in, take a look at it. And one of the challenges that we've had is because we're buying in new neighborhoods, is mapping softwares are a big challenge. We don't have any control over Google Maps, and we don't have any control over Zillow, Trulia, and HotPads maps either. And all of us have been spending hours and resources trying to figure out how to get Zillow to get their act together so that people can find our properties. We used to have a back line to the Irvine office that would allow us to call, and somebody back in the back office was able to help us out. In fact, I think I'm going to use that strategy again. How I found that was not through customer service. It was through the Zillow, the Zillow agent ads. The agent ads that it was the sales department. So I called the sales department, say, I'm interested in the zip code, but I can't get my properties to show up. And that's how I got that back number. So I may do that strategy again too. And the reason we say that, and I know in other areas like Austin, it's not that important to be in Zillow because everybody uses the MLS. We use the MLS there too as well. In fact, 2 MLSs, Austin Board of Realtors and the Central Texas. But up there is it's a different environment when it comes to leasing and leasing agents. And that's something that we're trying to change. We pay leasing commissions. They can earn $700-800 for bringing us a client or more, for a one afternoon's work. And they're very easy. It's just a matter of showing them the property, and they click on a link for the application, and they're done. Unfortunately, a lot of the agents are backward, and the property managers don't show other people's property management. So we will co-op with other agents, and that's why we're getting the word out on that, and even paying bonuses to make it very attractive for them to start showing our properties. All right, so the other thing, yeah, we've got our direct mail piece, working on that now that we're in the middle of December. Should be some quiet time. Directions, flyer boxes, open houses, the pricing strategies, flexibility on lease times, instant text leads. You've got one person as a point person. Clayton will be handling instant text leads, and also open house signs throughout the whole area. You can't drive in there without seeing our open house signs. So just wanted to let all our duplex buyers and other people that are in our Temple market know that things are hopping, and that on our end that we're doing what we can to make sure that there's full exposure to the property. So I appreciate Mike's efforts and his team, and so we'll see you soon as the properties get closer to close, or now if you've already closed, showing what we're going to do to help augment in the leasing activities. All right, thanks, Mike. Thanks for joining us on the call.
Thanks for the chance, Ken.
All right, talk to you soon. Thanks.
Bye.